Whoa. Everybody get up, get up. I know everybody had an amazing Christmas. And I'm praying that you're getting prepared for New Year's. Had an amazing Christmas, went over my buddy's house. Had a festive time, as I do every year. This is Christmas, the day after Christmas. And as I told you, hey Tammy, as I told you before, that we will continue talking about success and the things that's necessary to become successful. And the question a lot of people may ask, well, you got the day off, where, what are you doing or whatever? As I do always, I'm at the school preparing for the 2017. Let me say this to you, because oftentimes we have a desire to be successful. We want to, Clarence, I was just talking about you. Sorry, y'all. We don't take the necessary steps to become successful. Why? Because there's always something that either stops us from being successful. There's always this notion that comes in between our thoughts and our actions. And it's always that person, place, or thing that prohibits us or arrest or hold hostage our journey to success. So much so that we get in our feelings about certain aspects. But I don't want to talk about that. I talked about that before. I want to talk about something different. I want to talk about the feelings that you don't want. That's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the feelings that you don't want. Let's talk about that. Because the other day, what happened was I had this account with Bank of America, right? And I think I talked about this. And what happened, somebody had committed fraud on my account. And then after they committed fraud, I went and I talked about when I was at the church last time, and I spent my last $5. And my credit card, one of my credit cards, I have an auto pay on my credit card, right? And it hit my account, right? And I overdraft. And overdrafting is an ugly feeling. Why? Because what happens after you overdraft, the bank continuously hits you with an overdraft fee. And we're steadily getting money. I'm steadily giving money away. Why? Because it hits you once, right? This is crazy how they dog you. I'm talking about these banks are crazy. It hits you once, right? That's $35. Then they try again. That's another $35. Then they try again. That's $70. Then they try again for the third time, which is $105, right? And so now what you do is that you find yourself giving away $105. Why? Because we mismanaged the opportunities that have been given. That's all that happens. We mismanage opportunities that have been given. And in order for you to be successful, you have to be careful how you manage every opportunity that has been given to you. You have to think, where do I want to go? Where do I want to be? How do I want to get there? While all along you're running from the feelings of where you don't want to be, how you don't want to feel. And this is for dating. This is for any aspect. If you know that you don't want to be hurt, and you know the kind of person that hurt you before, or the aspect that particular circle that's acting up. I do apologize. This thing is crazy. If you know that being in a certain place makes you feel really uncomfortable, then guess what happens? You won't go there. If you know that eating a certain food breaks you out, then guess what happens? You won't eat that particular food. If you know that certain people irritate you, then guess what happens? Then you don't. I remember I just read about Beyonce. Beyonce was at this Met Gala event, right? And she paid the event planner extra money to keep her separated from the area where Kim Kardashian was. Did you hear what I said? She paid, both of them were at the same event at the same time. But she paid the event planner extra money to keep her away from where the person that irritated her so much. So Denise, away from it. I'm saying to you that in order to be successful, you have to run from the feelings that you don't want to feel. How is that so? Because those feelings, sometimes they are healthy, given some of them are healthy, and I'm not negating that, but we're talking for this particular segment, we're going to talk about those feelings that you really, really don't like. You don't like being broke. So guess what you have to do? You have to take that feeling and act as if it's a lion chasing you and go to where you can prosper. Did you hear what I said? You can't allow the feelings to just resonate or just surround you. No, you run from them. If you know that being broke and you don't want to be broke, then guess what you have to do? You have to work overtime. You have to create another income. If you know that being broke, you can't spend like you want to spend. You have to save money, so if anything were to happen, any kind of calamity were to happen, then you would already have things in place. You have to manage instead of mismanaging the opportunities that you have been given. In order to be successful, if you know that a place of if you know your place of discomfort, then it no longer becomes a place of discomfort anymore. If you choose to move away from it. I don't even go around certain people, and I'm as Christian as they come. Do you hear what I said? Some people that call me, I don't even answer the phone for. Some people that text me, I don't even answer the phone for. Some places that I'm invited to go, I don't go. You know why? Because I've been there. I've dealt with I've dealt with that person on many occasions and have gotten stung on many occasions. So I run from the feelings of being stung. How much hurt do you have to go through in order for you to recognize that's not the feeling that you want? You can't let that happen. I don't want to be broke no more. I don't want to hurt no more. I don't want to go through all of this anymore. So what I'm doing is that I'm removing myself from that cataclysmic atmosphere. If I know a comet is coming, then guess what? I'm going to make provision so it doesn't hurt me. How do I do that? That's the question. How do I come to that point? How do I run from the hurt? They always use the example of an eagle, how the eagle, he runs into the storm, right? They always use that example. And I think that we have been misled by that example because we always feel like that we have to be that eagle to go into the storm and fight the storm. Nah, that's far from the truth. Because some of us, because there's different types of eagles. There's bald eagles. There's other kinds of eagles. There's different types. And I'm saying to you, you're not built like that. All of us are not built like that to face a storm. So don't even think that you I gotta prove, I gotta prove to this, I gotta prove to that because I'm built like that. No, you're not built like that. You're not. My buddy, one of the things that my buddy, I used to always talk to him, right? To try to get him off of drugs, right? He was a drug addict for so long. I said, man, come on, I'm going to give you $200 if you get off. This was years ago, right? I said, I'm going to give you $200 if you get off of these drugs, right? So what happened was he got off the drugs, right? Got off the dope and but he has this addict mentality. And he took this eagle mindset, I can be around other kinds of drugs. And what happened? He started taking Oxycontin. And you know what happened? It gave him the feeling back that he was trying to run from. Why? Because he said to himself, one time I'm strong. I can be around that. Look, let me tell you something. He went around there, and guess what happened? He lost everything all over. He's doing good now, but he lost everything in that second. And he began so much so that him and I, we were getting ready to fight. Why? Because he came at me. He came at me asking for money. Right? I said, I ain't got it, blah, blah, blah. And he became disrespectful about it. And you know what I did? I cut him off. Because I'm not going to lose who I am running from a feeling that I'm running back, I'm not going to lose who I am and allow somebody who has their own issues to bring me back to who I was. That feeling of insecurity, that feeling like I got to fight, that feeling of like I have to demonstrate who I am. I don't want that feeling no more. So if that person, is hurt, is going to put me in a predicament of making me go backwards, the feeling that I don't want, then guess what I'm going to have to do? Because I'm not built like that. I can be an eagle, but for so long. Because sometimes I got to be a chicken. Why? And you know what a chicken does, right? They back down. In order to be successful, you have to know when you have to be an eagle. And you also have to know when you have to be a chicken. Because they're still the same bird. They come from the same family of birds. You have to stop mismanaging your opportunities. Move from the feeling. Start making provision so that you won't feel the way you've been feeling. If you keep getting hurt, you have to diagnose why and run from that feeling. And run to somewhere, to a place that's going to make you better and not bitter. You hear what I said? You have to be able, if you keep it, you know what? And let me be transparent, and I'm going to close with this, right? So growing up, with men, right? And I'm going to use this from a dating perspective. Men used to always want the women with perfect bodies, right? And so I was one of them. Always wanted the woman with the perfect body and all that. And every time I wanted the one with the perfect body, the perfect face, the perfect setup, she had to have a good job, had to have the bomb credit, had to have had to have it going on for me to date her, right? Until I kept getting stung. Did you hear what I said? Until I kept getting stung. Because I preferred a particular type, right? Instead of giving everybody else a chance, I gave only that type a chance. And I kept getting stung. And so now I run from the feeling of getting stung from a specific type. And so now you remove the type, then guess what? And you make yourself available for other opportunities, then that's the least likely opportunity for you to get stung. I remember being broke. Right? Being so broke. And what happens? And what did I do? I made sure I start saving. I stopped spending. 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 I stopped doing this. I stopped going here. I stopped going there. I stopped being in the atmosphere for the places that make me stop going out of certain restaurants that I know that's going to break my pocket. I had to stop mismanaging my opportunities and start managing my opportunities to avoid the feelings that I don't want. Did you hear me? You have to get away from the thing that's trying to bring you down. Did you hear what I said? And I always got to apply a biblical text. In the Bible that, Rachel, I think it was Rachel who had Isaac and Esau. Right, and they were two twins, and they were in the Bible, in her womb, right. And when one of them was coming out, The other one was holding him by his ankle. Did you hear what I said? They're just like crabs in a barrel. And ultimately, one of them, when he had the opportunity for the father's blessing, he tricked him. It was Jacob and Esau. I'm sorry, not I said Isaac. I'm saying, what I'm saying is, it was Jacob, and he tricked him out of his blessing. And I'm saying to you, in order for you to be successful, you can't avoid people trying to trick you. However, you can't avoid the snakes. You can't avoid those that's going to, because I just got this book by and if I ask that you get it, it's by Steve Harvey. It's called Jump, right? That's called Jump. And his book, a friend of mine gave it to me for Christmas. And in his book, he says this. He said, Steve Harvey says he'll never forget the advice that Magic Johnson said. He said that when you get to the top, people want to be here, but don't know how many people try to cut you off and how many people try to stab you in the back. How many people try to bring you down. He said that. And I'm saying to you, you can avoid all of this stuff that's going to come at you. You got BG&E, you got Sprint, you got all of these, you got AT&T, you got Verizon, you got all of them coming at you, right? You got people that's trying to get in your underwear. You got people that's trying to leech off of you. You got people that's trying to play you. You got people that's trying to be slick. You got all of these people coming at you. And they're surrounding you. They just keep, Erica, they keep coming around you. All of these people coming around you. All of them. And guess what? You can't stop them from coming around you because they keep circling you. You're Earth. You're the sun. And you got all these planets circling around you. You can't stop them. But what does the sun do? Thank you, Lord. You know what the sun does? The sun just stays bright. I might have to preach that one. Thank you for that one, Lord. The sun stays in its position. Good God Almighty. You have all of these planets, all of them trying to suck the wind out you, trying to bring you down. All of them feeding off of you. They're feeding off of your light. They're feeding off of you. And all you have to do, you can't stop them, babe. The one thing you have to do is stay in your position and shine. Stay in your, and guess what happens? I studied the sun one time, right? And and you can't get within 300, you can't get within, I think it's 16 million miles of the sun. If you come within 16 million miles of the sun, you'll burn up. You hear what I'm saying? And so the planets don't even come near. Yes, Erica, they don't even come near. Guess what? Because the radiance of who you are, you stay in position and shine on them. Ain't no doing dummying down. Don't dummy down. We are going hard in 2017. Don't mismanage the opportunities that you have been given. So let's summarize it. In managing, the first thing that you have to do is that you have to run from the feelings that you don't want, or the people, places, and things that put you in that predicament. We talked about that, right? So we talked about running from being broke. How do we run from being broke? We work as much overtime. We create another source of income. We do the things that are necessary to save the money. If we have to stop going out shopping and we have to stop going eating out and do whatever, to at least have at least $10,000 in the bank account or more. Some of y'all gonna be millionaires. You're one idea away. Work hard, work hard. One mind away from being a millionaire. That's the first thing that we talked about in terms of from dating. Stop minimizing yourself to a certain type. You have to, you have to open up yourself to other avenues. Stop minimizing your type. I talked about my relationship, the only type that I wanted, you had to be a certain type to be with me and all of that, blah, blah, blah. And then I stopped that. And I think I talked about this before. I would take and I talked about this. I would take a chick with 10 kids. I dated a girl with 10 kids though before, for real. I would take a girl with 10 kids. Used to be. I would take. This is what I would date, right? Because I don't have a type anymore. It used to be this certain type. Nevertheless, let's get past that. Then lastly, and this is the most important. I mean, then you have to realize that you can't be an eagle going into a storm, into every storm. You just can't. You can't be trying to boss up like that all the time. Seriously, you'll get smacked around. Life will smack you around. You keep trying to boss up on stuff. Nah, you have to know when to retreat and be a chicken. And you okay. Because if you retreat to be a chicken in certain circumstances, then guess what? You have tomorrow to make things better. If I know I'm in a, yup. You funny. Oh yeah, she brings up what Erica said. Look, Erica said, I won't take anybody that's broke, nor right. So I'm saying to you, you have to know your type. I mean, you have to know what you're willing, your capacity. I think I talked about that on the last one. You have to know your capacity. She said she's not willing to take somebody broke or not willing to starve, right? So you have to know your capacity. I talked about that on one of my other videos. If you ever get a chance, look at my videos on YouTube. I think it's on my page too. You can click on the button. It's YouTube/rcook212071, something like that. Or just look it up. It's Minister Richard Cook. You'll see all my videos. You'll see me preaching and all of that, right? And the last thing, let me close with this. You have to realize that you have all of these people. You're the son, right? You're expected. God has given you a certain radiance, right? He's already given you a certain anointing. He's already blessed you. And with that blessing, you're going to have a whole bunch of planets feeding off of you, feeding off your ray. Yeah, you're feeding off the rays that you're giving, right? You already know that. You already know. However, the more you shine and the more they come at you, your shine will make them burn up when they get within 16 million miles of you. Baby, play your position. Stay in position and play your position. And let the radiance of who you are and God made you. Dang, poop. And let me close with this, right? I'm gonna close with that promise. My brother always talks, he just joined, right? He always talks about how, everything I've been through, right? And because sometimes I go to him when I'm sad and stuff like that, right? When I was going through my periods and all of that, he always talks about God will always bring somebody in your life that knows you, everything that you've gone through, right? And some people will always use that. Some people, you have those people that know what you've gone through and use that against you. But then you have that one person, one or two people that will know what you've been through and elevate you. What's up, Stan? My brother did that. And I just want to say thank you. And then my brother Stan just joined. When I was nobody, right? Didn't know nothing. I never forget. My brother Stan used to always coach me. He used to always say, and I'm going to leave you with this. Stan used to always tell me, you got to shine because nobody will ever follow somebody who acts broke, who looks broke, and who thinks broke. He told me that. It was back in 1988. And I'm going to leave you with this. He said, you always have to shine. If I ever changed my life. He said, you always have to shine because nobody will ever follow somebody who looks broke, thinks broke, and acts broke. And I'm saying to the most of y'all, always, even if you are broke, don't think broke, don't look broke, and don't act broke. Did you hear what I said? Don't mismanage. Thanks, Dan. Don't mismanage. And I'm 80% of who I am is because of those two dudes, my brother and Stan. He took me when I was nothing. You're always going to have, God will always provide that one person who, when you ain't got no ambition, no nothing, propel you forward. Enjoy. We're going to cut it up tomorrow. I got to go back. And you see where I'm at, baby. You already see. Let me tell you something. My success don't stop. You got to keep moving. It's day after Christmas. I'm putting work at. I'm not at work, but I'm always at work. I'm putting this plan together. It doesn't stop. Y'all see my view? Let's go. 2017 has to be the year that you go hard and you go for broke. No! You ain't gonna never ever be broke. Why? Because you're gonna shine. Let your radiance. You're not gonna think broke. You're not gonna act broke. And you're not even gonna look broke because you're not gonna be broke. And I mean that. Let's get it.